928 area code. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Michael.
Hey.
This is Tim from Nebraska. I'm a centrist, and I do like to get both sides of a situation. And this is my first time calling, and I'm calling because there's been a lot of frustration on my end as a libertarian. That's just expected, but you guys do have some good points. But I'm really upset about the way you talk about David Axelrod. And I just feel like there's a distinction you need to make in the way that he orchestrated things. And the man who brought you the next episode shouldn't be discussed like that. David Axelrod, one of the greatest producers ever. And you constantly don't separate the fact that David Axelrod was a dope producer and that fuckboy from the Obama administration shouldn't even share the same name, dog.
I appreciate
Michael,
it.
If I could just have a favor, can I get some time on this call, man?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and reveal your true
identity.
It's supposed to be
the fun half, man.
Yeah.
My name is NJPW. You know what I'm saying? I'm a legend.
Yes, you are.
But enough about me and more about myself. I'm a legend. You know what I'm saying? You can reach me at Cole James Cash. But yeah, man, it's been a couple months since I called, man. Good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. What's on your mind, my friends?
Well, first of all, man, the click online, man, on Twitter is called Left is Best. You know that.
Yes, Left is Best.
And I had a sale on my music on my Bandcamp.
Nice.
Because frankly, man, like my son wants this drone. My son was diagnosed with autism a couple weeks ago. Oh. We're gripping with some things and this and that, but also gripping with the fact that rent is expensive out here, as hell out here in the San Jose Bay Area. And if you can believe it, man, the followers, man, they've chipped in, and I was able to get my son a nice, expensive $200 drone.
That's
because
awesome.
of that. And
that's amazing.
Those members like Lisa W. Temple Drake. There's a guy named DJ QAnon. Okay, these people contributed a lot. Adult film star Carol Fox. I had everybody from porn stars to just communists donating, and I just wanted to say thank you to all those people.
Porn stars to just communists.
That's our audience.
That is our audience, right? That's good. I like that.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. And Michael, my background, man. I made a whole album about the big girl porn stars, man. That's. Oh yeah, most definitely. I've made conversions. If you go on my page, man, on my Twitter, my pinned tweet is big girl, big middle finger saying fuck capitalism. And
awesome.
Straight porn star, man. I'm converting.
Respect.
So
that's
I wanted to talk
Gramscian,
about,
baby.
Yeah, culture,
that's
culture.
the counter hegemonic project. Sorry, fun half. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So first of all, man, we need to get an over under, man. What's gonna happen first? 6ix9ine getting life or Congress impeaching Donald Trump?
6ix9ine getting life. 6ix9ine getting life.
That trial's in September.
Yeah. No, they're not going to impeach him.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, unfortunately. I'll tell you what, though. I don't think they'll impeach him, but I am starting to, in a way that I have never contemplated before, I think dude might actually get indicted when he's out of office.
Yeah,
I think he might actually face actual criminal charges. And I haven't allowed myself to entertain that possibility before. And I'm not saying it might literally be the National Enquirer stuff. But the way it's going, I think he might leave office and get hit with charges immediately. I think that's actually possible. And I just saw, Tish James, the new Attorney General in New York, she just said the other day.
She want all the smoke.
She said, I'm going to use everything I have to investigate that guy. And it's if you, and then we didn't pull it because whatever, who cares about Donnie Deutsch? But Donnie Deutsch said on Morning Joe, and the only reason I take this seriously is because Donnie Deutsch has known Donald Trump for decades, and they're in all these scumbag circles, and he's like, the whole thing is a criminal enterprise, in his words. We've known about this for decades. Of course, it's well, then why are we giving the guy all this shine? But I mean, he said this thing's going to take him down and his family. So I'm starting to think that this might end in a really dramatic way. I think it's actually possible. And as I always say, the goal of modern politics is jail Trump, free Lula.
I mean, as a Brazilian, you already know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I just want to say, like I said, man, I brought up 6ix9ine because the black delegation on your Left Is Best click, man. We kind of need an explanation as to you talking about how you like 6ix9ine as musically, I mean, I'm not going to ask you for an explanation right now because there's other things I want to discuss, but trust me, we will be coming back to that.
No, I noticed that. I noticed there was a request for a meeting. I noticed that.
6ix9ine is a garbage ass rapper, and you kind of co-signed him. I don't know.
Well,
Mike.
Let me tell you. Here's the thing about 6ix9ine. So we interviewed on Woke Bros, which is the show I do at Waz, Bobby Shmurda's lawyer, and I don't think Bobby Shmurda and definitely not 6ix9ine have. I mean, especially like 6ix9ine has obviously done some extremely fucked up shit.
He done
without a doubt. But I also think that there is. I do think that there's an NYPD, whether they call it or not. But there is literally a rap unit.
Hip-hop cops?
Yes, that's a real thing.
Yeah,
and I think the way they go after in an almost paramilitary way, essentially like idiot 18, 19, 20-year-olds. I think there's a bigger problem there. But it doesn't. But 6ix9ine's a trash person. I think is pretty clear. Secondly, it's also, but it's like once, it was a Desus and Mero. I don't remember when, but they were playing a 6ix9ine song and making fun of him. And then one of them, though, had the honesty to be like, you know what makes me really angry about this? If this came on in a club, I'd be dancing right now. And so that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I can't lie.
I got you.
Yes.
I got you. And I want to also shout out my local congressman, Zoe Lofgren, for intentionally asking, why does idiot come up when you search the president? Come on, man. That shit was on purpose, dog. That was on purpose.
Wait, where did she say that?
Cali congressman ain't playing, man. You saw how Ted Lieu did him dirty, man. He did Steve King dirty, man.
Yeah. I heard about that one.
This was just a day removed after Pelosi put him in a body bag, and you see Chuck Schumer like, oh, well, my friends are here. I guess I could say something now. Chuck Schumer's such a bitch, man.
His posture was terrible.
Nancy, we did good, right, Nancy? I said things too. Shut your bitch ass up, Chuck. I mean, real talk, man. But yeah, she body bagged him, though, man. With that, don't you mischaracterize me, dog, because my whole set is in charge now. I'm Marlo and you Prop Joe, homie. It's a wrap.
She's Marlo and he's Prop Joe. I don't know. Prop Joe's a lot smarter than Trump.
Oh yeah, and I hate doing that comparison, but when you food out here in these streets, the wolves smell blood, man. Like I said, you got Chuck Schumer, who is the equivalent of Weebay's son, Naaman, popping off. Come on, man.
So so it sounds to me like you have a lot of optimism about the next couple of years.
You know why, man? Because I've already told you the situation with, the mother of my child, the woman I love.
Yes.
And it's like, if I don't got hope, I just drive her down with things like that. And, we're working on a relationship because, like Offset, I cheated, So I'm trying to fix that and this and that.
And
that's why I'm cheering for Offset right now, man. I'm not even bullshitting.
I think all men are cheering for Offset right now.
Yes, because I'm trying to really put my shit back together, and I don't have time. Like, on the real, though, being negative doesn't help her.
No.
Because she says it, like it doesn't, there's nothing I can do, et cetera, et cetera.
You got to think about the people that don't
have optimism.
You don't have the luxury of cynicism. Cynicism's a luxury. Don't have
exactly.
It. Right.
And I do have one substantive thing to say. I have, I work two jobs. I work as a case manager at a homeless shelter now. Before I was case manager at the group home.
Right.
At the group home, I've actually taken a position as just a counselor, which is basically someone who comes in and kind of babysits, and I do that overnight. I was going to call last week and talk about how we deal with veterans at my current homeless shelter job, but that shit ain't fun. We talked about that, man. I wish Jamie was in here right now so we can have a rediscussion about, which ain't even a word, about having fun, because I like we messed with her last time about that, and I just like teasing her. But This time, man, I'm telling you, I've been, that cat, what's his name? Cube die, whatever. The Swedish cat.
Oh, Cutie Pie.
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie.
Yeah, that cornball, man.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Now some of the kids I work with, and they're all minorities.
Right.
They were watching his videos. It was like 7 a.m. There was no school that day. They were watching his videos and this and that, and I had to put them on to them. I was like, he said the N-word, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? No, like he just talks about like, blah, 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 and this and that and the other. And it's just like I've had to like kind of educate him and this and that. But another thing is, man, in order to, with video games, man, like, because I try to reach these kids any way I can.
Yeah.
So these kids, like, they have an old Xbox 360 and they got Call of Duty and this and that, right? Well, I've been able to sort of reach a couple of these kids by discussing some of the missions they're doing, And in one, I was able to, if you can believe this, I was able to connect Paul Manafort into a game of Call of Duty because there's a section in Black Ops 2 where you're in Angola participating in the Civil War with Joseph Savimbi as a CIA agent.
Wow.
Now,
that's wild.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
wow.
All
right.
Yeah, and you know who put you on that mission or assist you?
Who?
Oliver North.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I was able to discuss with these kids. I was like, there's a guy, in jail right now. He's in federal prison who used to support this guy, which normalized him enough to be in this game. And they're like, what? He's connected to Trump? I said, technically, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I'm able to have these discussions with these kids and to make the connection between, hey, this actually happened. That happened. There's also a section in Black Ops 2 where you team up with the Mujahideen to fight the Soviets. And for a guy like me who's a veteran, that's important to me, and then, like I said, I try to reach the kids any way that I can with, there's a game called Metal Gear Solid 5. And if you know anything about Metal Gear, man, it's some real shit. That takes place in Afghanistan and Angola. So it's like, and Metal Gear does a great job of breaking down a lot of geopolitical things, and the reasons why the war happened, et cetera, et cetera. So I just try to throw in little things here and there, like, hey, if you just Google this, hey, take out your phone and Google that, and all of a sudden we're having a 2-hour discussion on it.
You're doing. I feel like a book that I read in college, and it was Brazilian. Did you ever read Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire?
No, I have not.
Dude, I think you're doing exactly what he told people to do. If I recall correctly, it's been a long time since I read it, but he talked about he would teach literacy through, instead of like children's stories, he basically use like newspapers. So he'd teach like the whole process at once. Like, you already know that this system is designed to oppress you if you're poor, if you're marginalized, so on. And so the educational methodology would itself be the tools for confronting the systems of oppression. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and thank you, man. And
book.
One last thing I'll say.
Yeah.
I definitely I will DM you, and if you could just give me the title again,
yes.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, I got you, no problem.
And then so the last thing I wanted to say is one of the kids was playing Wolfenstein 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I myself had completed the game, but a conversation between two of the kids while they were playing it, right? Now this kid was white, and the other kid was Latino, and they're playing it and this and that, and I'm I like the game personally. But I'm just watching it, until it's time for them to put him to bed, whatever. And there's a part where you're reading like what happened and how the United States surrendered. The United States essentially folded. And there's a part where, they're reading about, the Ku Klux Klan has the South, et cetera, and how white people are generally comfortable with the rhetoric. Like there's a letter being written. It's like, well, we're supposed to be the master race, right? Like, they're basically saying, like, well, what's wrong with being white and this and that? And the white kid was like, he's like, I know there's a lot of racist people like that, but, we would definitely resist an occupation, this and that. And the Latino kid says, you see anybody resisting now?
Wow.
And I was taken aback because the kid, I know the kid's background. His parents aren't citizens, et cetera.
Right.
So he's this kid reads a little more, and he was like, do you see them resisting now? And it's not about, enforcing this concept of white guilt, but just the game. I see why the chuds hate that game so much, and gamers hated that game, because there's also a part where, the minority characters in the game talk about, we've been fighting our asses off, but white folks have been real comfortable. That's a literal conversation that happens in the game.
Wow.
And considering this was developed long before the Trump came into office, these are real things that I'm able to, have conversations about and convey. And it's not about demonizing white people as much as it's about pointing out the truth that so long as it don't affect you, it's all good.
Right.
It's all good.
That's why,
that's what I said.
Yeah, no, I agree. Right. But that's a much deeper recognition than like the woke rhetoric, because it's not essentialist. I mean, it's like the identity of whiteness that has been created. The reason it's so dangerous is because the fictitious creation of identity has been rooted in that privilege and that disconnect. And yeah, you're exactly right. I appreciate the call, man. I love it. I love what the community is doing. I love what you're doing with those kids. Good luck to Offset and
Yes.
Impeach Trump. And actually, also the only problem to over and under is Tekashi definitely might be cooperating with the feds, but for another day.
And Michael, one thing you need to know, man.
Yes.
AOC got the youth, man. AOC got the youth. They love him. They all love her, man.
She's
the youngsters love her. Like, they love it. She was like, who want to get lit up next? You know what I'm saying? She was calling out Palin and all them, and like her Twitter, man, like the kids are following it.
Of course.
She already said, get used to me slaying. Who want to get lit up next? Remember Paul Ryan talking about, well, Paul Ryan, he's young and he's got a vision. My name's Ezra Klein, and I'm a stupid motherfucker, so I bought that shit. Hook, line, and sinker. I mean, it's like AOC is like, oh yeah, but he's the smart one, right? And then she posted that clip of Steve King, like, posting the wrong phone maker and this and that when he's talking to Google CEO, but I don't know what I'm talking about. AOC
exactly.
got the streets, man.
No, she's
you know
on
what I'm saying? We bang AOC out here. Yeah. Anybody who had a problem with AOC, see me come to the Bay Area, we will throw hands. All right, Michael.
Thank you.